Imagine finding a box of old letters that could ruin a kingdom. That's exactly what happened in one of history's most shocking royal scandals. These love letters weren't just romantic, they were dangerous. They nearly tore apart an empire. Want to know how? Let's dive in. Every empire has rules, and one rule is clear: royalty must marry wisely. But what happens when a prince falls in love with someone he shouldn't? In the early 1900s, Prince Edward of England met Wallis Simpson. She was charming, bold, and very different. But she was also American, and divorced. Twice. That was a big problem. Think about it like this. Imagine your best friend dating someone your whole family dislikes. Now imagine your friend is supposed to be the king. That's what Edward faced. His love for Wallis broke royal traditions. But he didn't care. He wrote her letters full of passion and promises. These weren't just sweet notes. They showed how deeply he loved her, and how far he'd go to be with her, even if it meant giving up the crown. Have you ever liked someone so much that you'd risk everything? What would you do if your love was forbidden? Love letters are usually private, but Edward's letters were different. They were bold, emotional, and sometimes reckless, and they didn't stay secret for long. Royal staff found some of the letters. They were shocked. Edward wrote things like, "I can't live without you," and "I'll leave everything for you." That scared the palace. If Edward gave up the throne, it could shake the whole empire. Imagine writing a message to your crush, and your teacher finds it. Now imagine your teacher is the Prime Minister. That's how serious this was. The letters made it clear. Edward was ready to choose love over duty. The government panicked. They worried about the church, the people, and the law. A king couldn't marry a divorced woman. Not back then. So they gave Edward a choice of the crown or Wallis. Have you ever had to choose between what you want and what others expect? Which would you pick? Love or responsibility? Edward didn't hesitate. He chose Wallis. In 1936, he gave up the throne. He became the only British king to ever step down for love. His speech was short but powerful. He said, "I cannot carry out my duties without the woman I love." That line became famous, but behind it were years of letters, secrets, and heartbreak. Think of it like quitting your dream job to be with someone. Everyone says you're crazy, but you believe love matters more. That's what Edward did. After stepping down, Edward became the Duke of Windsor. He married Wallis. They lived in exile, far from the palace. Some people admired them. Others called them selfish. But the empire survived. Edward's brother became king. The scandal faded. Still, those letters remained. They showed how love can change history. Would you give up your future for someone you love? Is love worth losing everything? Years later, the letters were found again. Historians studied them. They saw more than romance. They saw a man torn between duty and desire. The letters revealed Edward's pain, passion, and boldness. They also showed Wallis's doubts. She wasn't sure she wanted to be queen, but she loved Edward. And he loved her. Today, people still talk about their story. Movies, books, and documentaries explore it. Some say it was true love. Others say it was a mistake. It's like reading your grandparents' old messages. You learn things you never knew. You see their hopes, fears, and dreams. That's what these letters did. They didn't destroy the empire, but they changed it. They made people think about love, power, and choice. What do you think? Can love rewrite history? Can a letter change the world? We explored a royal romance that broke all the rules. Edward's love for Wallis led to secret letters, a shocking abdication, and a new chapter in history. These letters weren't just words, they were choices. They showed how love can challenge power, and how one decision can change everything. Whether you see it as brave or foolish, it's a story that still fascinates us today. If you enjoyed this story, hit like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Want more royal secrets and history twists? You won't want to miss what's next.